there is a way a Mercedes goes down the road. It's just shatteringly competent, and it just makes you feel good. And I think maybe this is one of the best examples of a classic Mercedes that gives you that special feel. It's a 1996 220 Coupe. So we're going to go over what exactly makes it feel special and what exactly makes it feel like a real proper Mercedes. Driving along at 50 miles an hour in the C124 Coupe, you notice how quiet it is. There's just no wind noise. You can hear slightest ruffle around the edges of the windows. And it's really impressive because it's pillarless coupe, so there's no B-pillar there. That should make it noisier. Road noise is probably the most obvious thing on this terrible surface, but even that's pretty low. There's no vibration from the engine whatsoever. Pedals, no. Gearbox, no, nothing. It is mechanically pretty much perfect in that respect. We've got proper leather seats in this example. Sometimes, for most often, you get MB Tex, which is kind of like vinyl. The springs in them are a bit firm. It's just like the German style, but they're supportive, you know. It'll be comfortable on a long journey. You won't get back pain, that's for sure. The rest of the interior is finished impeccably. All the wood, door trims and stuff, it just all feels really expensive. It's just a thoroughly nice place to be. You feel like you are in somewhere very luxurious. And then there's the ride quality. It's a little bit on the firm side, but it's properly comfortable. You just get the odd movement over bumps and stuff in the traditional German sense. But through the corners and stuff, it never gets upset, so it's always just really easy to thread along through corners. Supportive seats too, actually. And the engine's there to help you. It's only the 4-cylinder. They did a 6-cylinder, which is the one everyone wants, of course, but this one just has torque. You just lean into the long travel throttle pedal and it goes 55, 60 with barely a murmur. Once you're up at 60, the ride evens out even better. It's definitely better at higher speed. You can just pile on the miles in this car. But what happens if you shift the gearbox from E to S? Well, the whole thing transforms into a sports car. No, that's not quite right. The Mercedes W124 is a car that you make progress in. Now, of course, it's got the new suspension from the 190E, which pretty much revolutionised Mercedes suspension design. Multi-link rear, that's the key thing. The differences are in the bushings. There's slightly revised bushings for the differential particularly. And we've got McPherson struts at the front. Really well judged spring rates and damper rates, actually. Gets down the road with serious competence. It's just controlled all the way. It feels stable all the time. Gearbox is sometimes reluctant to kick down even in your sport mode, but we're cracking on. We've only got 148 brake horsepower here, 155 foot-pounds of torque, and apparently the figures are made all at the top of the rev range, but you don't really get that impression. Steering and controls are all a little bit distant, but not vague. There's a sharpness to them and an accuracy that lets you place the car wherever you want it. Brakes, strong. Big brakes on this car. And there is on the gearbox, you can select third manually, second manually. It's all very, direct and crisp changes. I prefer to leave it in D, to be honest. Other key facts, the coupe weighs 30 kilos more than the saloon. Now a lot of that is in the strengthening of the body to allow the windows. So it weighs just shy of 1,500 kilos, but that's still, strangely, 100 kilos less than the W123 predecessor. Yes, it's only the 4-cylinder one, the 6-cylinder will be faster. But you know what, actually, I didn't really miss the extra performance that the 6-cylinder would offer. And you've got to balance that against extra economy. This thing will probably do good 30, maybe 40 miles to the gallon. So as a GT car, it stacks up pretty well. On the Autobahn, you could even get it up to 130 miles an hour. And as a coupe, it's one of the last Bruno Sacco, well, the last Bruno Sacco coupes. And it is, I think, a really timeless shape. But the biggest thing for me, actually, is how fine a product it is. It's almost like an antique. It's just something you could keep forever and enjoy forever. And it is a fitting end to the iconic line of Mercedes 220 coupes.